Better Futures, I've worked with them a handful of times over the last 10 to 12 years. And what they specialize in is home disassembly with the goal of salvaging what is still usable from the homes. And the second purpose is the laborers that do the work are people that are needing some assistance to kind of get back into the mainstream of life because of things that have happened in their past. Then the benefit to the property owner is whatever is salvaged is a donation that then can become a tax credit. I would say construction loans are not your plain vanilla type of a product. And so really working with a lender who has a lot of experience with that is an important part of the process. We've worked together with Tom and his team, and really they understand our process in terms of how we build a house, and we understand at the outset of the loan and kind of what the parameters are before we get started. So we just kind of work within the ground rules. You really do work with a team at McDonald, and we have in-house architecture, in-house interior design. When it comes to choice, people want to have confidence in the choices they're making. They don't necessarily need to have unlimited choice. For a lot of people, that can be unsettling. So it's really our job to kind of help work through that process with them so they feel like they were able to choose anything that they wanted, but really what we were presented was based off of a kind of curating it for them based on what we heard them say along the way. We're taking in the house in an existing neighborhood and it becomes a new home site. Every city's different, every lot is different. There is a lot more coordination that goes in place with building in an existing neighborhood on a teardown site. And then you got to work with the cities because you're tapping into their existing infrastructure. And so there's a lot of additional communication that really has to happen, and probably a little bit of a different bedside manner, so to speak, that we need to bring when we're working within an established neighborhood, because it is a disruption to the neighbors. And we do want the neighbors to acknowledge that it's temporary, and hopefully at the end of it they say, well, that wasn't so bad. It's not as bad as living through road construction in Minnesota. And then we're left with the homeowners where obviously they're on good terms with all of their neighbors as well. We're a unique builder in the standpoint that we do both new construction and new developments, but also people wanting to be in a certain location for a variety of reasons. It's now an option that's open to them where they can have new construction and be where they want. I'd say 10 years ago that really wasn't an option, so remodeling was really the only option. But like I said, it is a more involved equation to solve than just building in a new development neighborhood. So really, as we've seen more and more of it, and we've done more and more of it ourselves, being experienced and comfortable with that, I think does differentiate us from other builders and provide some additional options for our clients. It's really getting down and trying to understand what are their goals and objectives for making this move that they're going to make, right? And really trying to find what's the best option for them. If people want to be on a lake somewhere, those are typically all have established structures on them in homes. And so it's really understanding what can you build on site after the house is taken down, because every city, while some of them are similar, has their own particular rules that they require. And so really trying to balance all of that. The more experience you have at that, the better you're going to get. We have dedicated construction managers that are on site and managing the process from start to finish, all the way through to where we have a full-on homeowner orientation walkthrough where we train them on their new house, mostly around how the mechanicals work, what's the maintenance that they need to be aware of, and really help them kind of understand how does their house work and what they need to do to take care of it. And then also unique to us, we have a dedicated individual who is our follow-up and customer support and customer service provider. So for after they've moved in, there's bound to be things that are going to need to be addressed, that we get on them quickly and in a way that doesn't disrupt or kind of cause the client any type of concern about the long-term investment that they've made.